Hello, this is Dread from Epic Builds. In this video, we'll be going over my Bleed Flurry Blade Dancer, a build that might not be as flashy as your stereotypical Shadow Cascade build, but it's definitely an original way of playing the class. Before we continue on with the video, I would like to promote my Twitch stream here. I stream at twitch.tv/apprentice_epoch builds, and if you want to catch me live for build help or want to see the build creation process behind the scenes, I would heavily suggest going there. This build is built around Channeled Melee Flurry, which we utilize the node, Boundless Blows, which removes the delay between the last strike and the first strike on regular Flurry, increasing our attack speed dramatically. We then grabbed Shockwave, a node that only Melee Flurry can use, that gives us a wave of energy that will apply all of our bleeds in a line, which allows Flurry to be used as a clear skill. Sadly, I wish this wave could get a tad bit wider, but it definitely does the job. We then grab Lethal Vector and Reopened Wounds for a hefty chunk of more damage with ailments, making our bleeds do even more damage. So the next skill we use, Puncture, is a new tech I decided to use this time around. Before, we would just run something like Shadow Cascade to proc from Shift to give us a 200% increased physical damage boost, but this time I wanted to try messing with Puncture this time around. The main reason we use Puncture is for Bloodthirst, which grants us a stacking buff, Bleeding Flurry. This buff adds up to about 300% bleed chance in the end, making our Flurry do a lot of more single target than normal. This buff stacks up to 6 times, and will refresh all 6 stacks once we hit an enemy with it, making it very easy to keep it up during difficult boss fights like Oribus. We also grab Press the Attack, which will grant us Frenzy, giving us a 20% increased attack and cast speed boost for 2 seconds, which makes our Channeled Flurry attack even faster. For the last important node, we grab Effectuous Toxin, which makes the enemy take 10% increased damage from damage over time effects, perfect for bossing. For Shurikens, we take the combo of Blade Shield and Abrasive Arsenal, while proccing it with Shift, giving us a nice amount of physical resistance shred, letting our bleeds do even more damage. For our other skills, I will be leaving a build planner in the description, as Shift and Smoke Bomb are your usual support setups, and not really have changed much enough for me to note. On the passive tree, Blood Serpent's Blades is definitely one of the more important nodes, as giving us 100% increased bleed chance since we're running 2 swords, which is very important because Flurry, as a cost to attack 3 times per second as a base, has a 40% reduced chance to cause ailments on hit, making stacking ailment chance a very important aspect of the build. The next node of importance is Weapons of Choice. This is the entire reason we go dual-wield swords, because instead of some other combo of weaponry, having the flat 40% chance for glancing blows, which is a chance to reduce incoming hits by 35%, makes us a lot tankier than we normally would be as a rogue. Death's Door allows us to tank even harder, combined with our endurance, which gives us an insane amount of effective health for free. Spellbreaker is a new node introduced with this latest patch, giving us free frailty chance, allowing us to take another 18% less damage from enemies, and all of this damage reduction adds up to being a very chunky character, even at 1.5k HP. For uniques that would go well with this build, a pair of Wing Guards are best in slot, giving us 40% increased attack speed, along with a 200 flat dodge, which goes amazingly with all of our percentage dodge increases. On top of being a base that gives us endurance percentage, this item is definitely a good item to have with the build, but not completely mandatory. For another important item for the build, a new base type added with this patch, Nagasa Scimitars, have an implicit 60% increased damage over time, and since we have so much attack speed from the tree and gearing, we can actually go with 2 damage rolls on our prefixes, giving us 105% increased damage over time and 105% increased physical damage, all affecting our bleeds. And when dual wielding the perfect setup, we can actually get up to 520% increased damage just from our weapon slides. Absolutely insane. For our suffixes, since we get so much bleed chance from everywhere else, we can use the overpowered suffix affix dodge percentage on swords, and then we can also use health on melee hit. Health on melee hit is an insanely strong affix for this build, thanks to the fact that we're attacking 9 times per second, making our sustain insane against most enemies in packs. For other items, we just want to focus on capping resistance, bleed chance, damage over time / physical damage, dodge percentage and flat, hybrid and increased HP, and of course critical strike avoidance. For idle slots, we run 4 chance to bleed per equipped swords along with damage while wielding a sword idles, giving us an insane amount of damage for free. And of course for the 1x1s that are left by these 2x2s, we can just use like some kind of resistance to shore up our resistances. Thank you all for watching, and if you have not already, I'd heavily suggest joining the Discord, as that's the best way of knowing when my next video or my next stream is out. This has been Dread from Epic Builds, and have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you're at and wherever you are. Bye!